bitches? And welcome to the Sassy Spiritual Bitches podcast.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. This is our first episode, like, remotely.
Remotely.
Randy is living in Mexico now.
Yes, I am.
God, that's amazing. Tell us about how it's going. How is the beautiful weather? Because up here, it's minus 50.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck, did we leave at the right time? I'll tell you that. But the weather here has been beautiful. It has been gorgeous. It's been like in the plus 30s, but not ridiculously hot. Do you know what I mean? Like there's always this really nice breeze where even when it's plus 30, whatever, it just feels nice.
And the nights get pretty chilly, hey?
They haven't been.
Oh, damn it. When I moved there, I'm like, I still want to wear cardigans sometimes. And we've been to Mexico before, and sometimes the nights get chilly. You can wear a cardigan.
Just not right now, because we're moving into the warm months in the Yucatan, so it's like, I think the hottest months are like April and May, so we're moving towards that. But I still wear a cardigan.
Got you. I like it.
As I'm wearing one right now. You know, it's. I wore my bunny hug the last couple nights. I was like, I'm cold. You know.
I love it. And for those of you who are not from Saskatchewan, a bunny hug is a hoodie. That's what we call it there.
A pullover hoodie, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm super happy for you, and your dogs made the journey, and everybody's good to go down there.
I mean, it wasn't smooth sailing the whole time. Like, let's be honest. I will never trust Airbnb in my life again. Like, I just won't. Had some really bad experiences. Oh yeah, never again.
What happened?
Like the one was okay.
Oh, I get it.
It was pretty accurate to what the listing said. Another one, we get there and there's like bed bugs and black mold. And so we had to like try and find a hotel. Like we couldn't even stay there because Keith's severely allergic to mold. And then the one we got to full time when we were here, it was like not at all what the pictures were. We got there, they ushered us to sit in this other section. Like it was, I guess, an attached part of the house. I don't know. But they didn't tell us what was going on. The place was still dirty. And we arrived 3 days late, by the way, because of weather. Like they were still cleaning. We walked in there. There's still like paint all on the, kitchen sink. There's, wires hanging out of the light bulb place. There's no light bulbs. Lights were flickering. Shit wasn't working. Like it was just, and so we've been trying to get our money back. Airbnb refunded us. It was fine. But it was like, oh my God. And of course, with 2 dogs, it's not just like you can just go check into any hotel.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, damn. That's a pain in the ass.
It is.
I know. Airbnb, like, I love it. I'm so glad it exists. But the descriptions are usually fairly deceiving. Even in Canada, like, Graham and I went to the mountains to spend Christmas. And we were very particular about what we picked because we were like, if we're going to do this, we got to bring our dog, really want a hot tub, like a balcony if we're not on a main floor or whatever. So yeah, it was like, it looked like the dream ideal large location, but it was like a hotel. And people could buy hotel rooms and kind of use them as condos, but it was a hotel room. So it's not as personalized, very small, so many tourists around. And it wasn't exactly the escape we were going for. And then it happened to be minus 50. So we couldn't even use the hot tub because it was outside. It was still awesome. Like it was still amazing and good times. But I remember being like, this is deceiving. And there was a TV, but it was an awkward layout. So the TV was only in the bedroom. So we brought some video games and stuff and we couldn't even play them really because it was in the bedroom. Like who's going to sit in there? So it was just, Airbnb can be deceptive. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, well, it is what it is,
it's still, we should be grateful for what we've accomplished. Like Kayla 3 years ago, being able to go and spend the mountains in Christmas, not a fucking chance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm just like, okay, well, bitch, you're in Mexico. So suck it up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Look where you
Same.
are. So
Same.
yeah. And I mean, then I did that quick little Boxing Day sale and holy shit. Whoops. Got a little busier than I anticipated, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that happened to me too. Just I did that year ahead, that chapter ahead reading, which I'm actually really excited to do because I love doing new things. And this is kind of a new area or a new thing for me to look at, which I'm pumped about. But it's only a little 20 to 30 minute reading. And normally I have my calendar set out so I can only take 3 bookings a day, which is manageable for me. It doubled. So I have 6 readings a day now. And I'm like, ooh, girl, can you access six readings worth of material? They are shorter, but it's still the same access, right? It's still the same meditation. And I'm like, oh, so if you ordered a chapter ahead reading, please be patient with me. I'm only human.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty booked, but I'm happy about that. I'm really grateful and excited. Just, yeah. Whoops.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. It's okay.
Yeah. And we're like, as entrepreneurs and as, you know, everything's a lesson. Like nothing, you know, and I'm always changing things. And I think you are too. So it's always an evolution. Something's always a lesson, always in a state of moving, which makes it feel like there's a lot of lessons, but it keeps it interesting, I guess, too.
Oh, totally. I was going to say it keeps it interesting. Keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get complacent.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Definitely.
Which is fun. On one hand, I bitch and moan and I'm like, oh, it's so challenging. Oh, you know, but on the next, I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of fun, you know, to learn new things and shift and do things on the fly and figure it out. And
that's true.
You know, so
and I'm learning to be like less hard on myself. Like I like, you know, I see it on my calendar. I'm like, I have to do it right now. And then I just get stressed out and I'm like, oh my God. And like, that needs to end in 2022. Like that, I need to be more gentle with myself and my expectations. And then that will definitely increase my happiness levels and satisfaction levels, I'm sure.
Yes. Yes. It's good. It's fine. How has your 2022 been so far? It's like what, the 3rd day?
Yeah.
Something?
Okay. So what have I been experiencing? So I feel like there's a purge going on, at least in my life. Like my body has been all over the fucking map. But can't sleep, but tired, sore, like every food is irritating, head pressure. Like I haven't been feeling the greatest in my body, which has a direct impact on the rest of my life, of course.
Naturally.
So I've been feeling a little bit like heavy, but still layered and sprinkled with optimism. Like 2022 feels really good. So I just can't wait to get through this like weird metamorphosis or purging or whatever's going on. How about you?
All period.
Oh, yes. How about you?
I'm now that you say that, I'm quite similar in the body stuff. Like I'm back to having like my restless legs at night. And tossing and turning. And, you know, it's like I'm so tired and I fall asleep easy, but I don't think I'm really resting right now.
That's so weird. I'm the same way. And so is Graham, like just tossing and turning and shifting and like nothing's comfortable. And like I'm exhausted. Like we've been in the middle of home renos and kind of traveling around and family stuff and then work. And it's like I should be exhausted. But yeah, like really restless at night.
Yeah, I don't, in my mind, it's like my mind does shut off. Like I'm able to turn that off, but my body's just like, it's like my mind's racing anyway, even though my mind isn't, but my body's racing like when my mind races. And there's been
it's weird. How's your stomach? How's your digestion? Mine has been like, my stomach hates everything. It's like, drink water only, please.
No, mine's been pretty good. Keith has been like that though. Like he's having stomach problems and stuff again. But but I haven't, I mean, I eat a lot of cheese and grapes. And in the morning, I've been having scrambled eggs and some fruit. And then, yeah, that's really, like it's not, I haven't been eating very much. Like I have very little appetite. And yeah, drinking lots of water and stuff. But I don't even know. Anxiety's been a big thing back again. But I think it's just a lot of change, and that's normal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I haven't, the odd day I've taken half of one of my meds for anxiety. It was mainly on the trip.
Right.
Right. But here I've been managing it just fine with like meditation or a card pull or whatever. But it's this weird, I think because the world is shifting, there was a definite, I don't know if you felt it, in and around the solstice, and then this past full moon or new moon last night, there's been this real weird shift. And I'm just like, I think it's like the energies kind of leveling themselves out, maybe. Mm-hmm. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. It almost feels when, like how my body reacts when the Schumann spikes, but the Schumann hasn't been spiking, right?
Right.
So I'm just kind of like, what is going on with this? And I'm on edge. It feels like I'm on edge or just really impatient for something, but I don't know what.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I thought of two things because I'm reading this very interesting book that was super expensive and difficult to find. And
I like how you throw those two things in.
Yes.
Not what I like. Just really expensive and super hard to find.
Yeah, and I was so into it. I almost read the whole thing in one night, and that's like unfucking heard of my life. So 2022 seems to me like it's going to be the year of ascension. Like literally the process is fucking happening in 2022, but late 2022.
Yeah,
and this book was written in 2010.
Oh.
And they were saying like you'll start noticing weird shifts at the end of 2021. And I was like, what are these weird shifts going to be? And like the physics of the planet is changing. And they say the way that you would notice, and this is crazy, is that like time-space or space-time continuum is really fucked up. So time's really warped. And like they talk about how cargo ships in the ocean will like bump into each other or get congested because the timelines aren't real. That happened. They've been crashing. Cargo's been being dumped. They can't get into the ports, and they say it's because of COVID. But like, it's because time isn't the way that it used to, so they can't get the schedule right because everything's condensed. And I'm like, that's crazy. So that's confirmation right there that like actually there is weird physics and magnetism and different things on the planet that we're not used to feeling. And they literally said late, like November 30th, 2021 is when like you'll start to really notice. So that's interesting.
That is interesting. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I'm super intrigued by this ascension process. Like I'm interested to see because it's 2022 is going to be crazy, y'all. Like what a weird year. I'm super excited for it though.
Me too, but I'm totally here for it. But I feel like there's like this shit ton of abundance that's going to be happening this year. Like, let's be honest. I am a worrier about money all the fucking time. Even when I have it, I worry about it. And I know that's a bad thing. And I actually have done a lot of work in and around that when it comes to beliefs and stuff. I give no fucks about money right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I moved to a new country. I should be stressing about this. I should be, I have no worries. I don't, I don't look at my calendar. I don't look at anything. I don't look at my bank statements.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it doesn't matter because I'm going to have lots of money all the time.
Exactly.
Like, who am I? Where is this coming from?
That's exactly what I've been getting. So like 2022, because I've been practicing these chapter head readings. So obviously the first chapter I read was like the general collective of 2022.
Yeah.
And it's
I can't wait to get mine, by the way.
Yes, I know. I'm excited to do yours.
Yeah.
Because you have this whole new horizon upon you. What's it going to look like? So it was really about like love and connection, but love and connection in regards to like, what are you choosing? So not just like relationships or friends or family, but it was basically like this year of 2022, it's like the master builder, the master manifestations. So we have always two choices, like for example, like love and fear, right? Or, you know, the matrix and the freedom, or the expectations, or the, you know, living life authentically. So you will get what you choose, but like instantaneously, like, oh man, it's going to be so crazy. Like, the only thing they ask is that you be responsible. Like, do something about it. Because the last couple of years, I kind of was like, let's get some comparison. So 2020 was the year that we got to assess what was working and not working. So we made a priority list. And then 2021 has been the year of like deep internal healing. So we've all been sort of cradled and gently held by the universe. Things didn't really go like super well, but they didn't go super wrong. Like, we were kind of floaty. They were kind of like, we're going to give you a free pass because you have so much internal work to do. Everything will work out to the greatest degree possible. And then they were like, 2022, it's like, now it's time to pull up your pants and like, let's go. Like, let's create something. The universe is looking to see your responsibility for this now. Like, you got to show up. So like, when you show up though, it's like infinite abundance awaits. Like, it's crazy. It feels to me like it's a level of manifestation that humans have not had previous access to this easily. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, actually. Yeah, I can feel that. I like it.
Yeah.
That's similar to what I was getting to, actually. Like, because when I think about 2022, it feels very light. The word that comes in is dedicated.
Yes.
Like, 2022 has to be dedicated to whatever your goal is, right? Like, I am dedicated to my health. I am dedicated to my finances. I am dedicated to my relationships, or all of the above. Whatever it is, you have to be dedicated and prove it. And you will be rewarded.
And that reminds me of like the master builder too. Like, I'm going to build my life and I'm going to masterfully put the bricks and motor together and just like go. So that, I don't know, it's going to be a crazy year. And you know what? When you say light, I can't believe how much I don't give a fuck about the media at all. Like, that died in 2021. Like, I don't know what's going on. And frankly, I don't give a flying F. Like, I'm just like, it has nothing to do with me. Everything has been available to me as I've wanted it to be. Same with you. Like, it's just like, who cares?
Yeah, I'm not big on, I don't even scroll social media as much as I used to. I have not turned on a TV in I don't remember how long. Like, at all. You know?
And you
do
you just feel like it's like watching a play almost, and not just, it's like social media, the news, commercials. It's just like watching a play that you never bought tickets for, and you're like, I don't think I have to be here anymore. This fucking place sucks, and I'm just like going out and doing something else with my time.
Yeah, like, I'm like, I don't even engage. I have no idea what's going on, and I like it.
Me too.
You know, I'm kind of like, it's not my business. You know what's my business? What's right in front of me. My business is my business. You know, my clients are my business. Minding my own is my business, you know? So I don't know. I'm just very, the outside world, none of my business.
Seriously, that's how I feel.
You know?
Too. And it feels so much lighter. Like, last year I was practicing those things too, but it would always like, it was almost like an active practice not to pay attention. And now it's just like gospel. You're like, no, I don't even remember that there's things to pay attention to or not pay attention to. It's just like gone.
You know what's funny is I've always kind of been like that. I remember when Keith and I were first married, he would give me shit all the time. Because he'd be like, well, you need to know what's going on in the world. And my answer was always, why? And he was like, well, because you need to be informed and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, unless it affects me, I don't. And he's like, well, everything affects you. And I was like, if you let it. You know, like we would have these conversations. And I'd frustrate the fuck out of him. But now it's so interesting because he's come around to seeing how you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of always, but once he got on my ass, then I did pay attention to things.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I never had gone to that. But I mean, hey, I came full circle. I came back to how I used to be about it. But, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
To say the least. Because I'm much happier when I don't pay attention.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And even staying off social media, like I'm so much happier not participating in even that. Like, and it's like nothing particular is triggering me. Like I only follow like positive accounts, but it's just like the more I'm off of it, the better I feel.
Yeah. I'm annoyed by it.
Oh, yeah.
Mind you, everything kind of annoys me right now. And I don't know. I think that's part of the transition. Like, I think it's just, and I kind of mentioned it earlier. I don't know what it is. I feel like impatient for something and I don't know what it is. You know how like when you're waiting for something you're really excited for, like, I don't know, maybe you order dinner and you're like, hurry up and fucking get here. I'm hungry. You know? And the longer it takes, you're like, oh, fuck. And you get, you know, more and more impatient and annoyed. That's kind of how I've been, but I don't know what it's for.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. Like, I feel, we're like, to me, in between two worlds, the old world and the new world, but we're sort of in no man's land right now.
Yeah.
And it's like hard to know what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I don't know if it's an excuse or what it is, but like, I'm having a really hard time with human things. Like I need to get my taxes and my paperwork in order for this year. And I'm just
I
like,
gotta do that too. Oh, fuck.
yeah. But a part of me is like, do I really? Like, I know I have to do my taxes, but like, do I really? And then like, just, I have to get my car fixed. And I'm just like, do I really? And I don't, like, again, it really feels like, I don't know. To me, it just feels like the old world is ending and this new one is coming. And I know the new one is going to be like vastly different. So it's like, do I really have to work hard right now at these things, or can I just keep floating around? But I know I need to just do it because I don't want to eat the repercussions if the new world doesn't come this year. But I just really feel like the old me is like, but my old life is like dead, if that makes sense. And you're kind of just like, well, what is my new life? What's the difference here? So it's kind of like I'm waiting to be shown how to navigate life or figure out how to navigate life. It just feels like a weird ending.
Yeah. I don't
know how to describe it. Yeah, restless and uncertain. I know. Fuck.
It's like I want to do all the things, but I also want to do absolutely fucking nothing.
I know.
You know?
It's a weird time.
It's a weird energy right now. And I know it's just transitional because, again, when I meditate and I look on the air, it's going to be fucking awesome and amazing. But I'm just so, I don't know what to do right now.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I know what I want. I know what my manifestations are, but I don't know, like what is requiring my attention right now, aside from obviously the list of readings I have to do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. I feel very good, but also annoyed and impatient. So I'm just gonna let myself feel that out and see where it goes. But I think, okay, let me know if you feel this. It feels like every single, and sometimes multiple times a day, but it feels like every day, I don't know if we just keep jumping around timelines, because it feels like every day and sometimes every few hours, I'm like, okay, wait, this feels way different than it did, yesterday or an hour ago. And even like places that we're looking for, because we haven't found a long-term place yet and stuff. And so like we're looking at things and it's like, yes, this is it. And then all of a sudden our intuition is like, no, it's not. But then a couple hours later, it's like, yes, it is. Like it's just, it feels like there's two separate roads here.
Yes.
And I don't know what to do, because I'm like, depends on the hour how my intuition's talking to me. Do you know what I mean?
Right. That makes sense. I feel that for me, it's just like, like I feel like there is two timelines kind of fighting right now or something, because it feels like, yeah, like 1 minute I'm like optimistic and I'm like, this is my plan and I'm confident and this is good. And then the next minute you're like, oh, crash. Like, I don't think that's right anymore. Maybe it's harder than I think. And it's like a wave that just keeps on going up and down. And I keep asking myself, I'm like, is this my like ego sabotaging me, or like what's happening here? And I can't get a straight answer. Like, that's the other thing about 2022, is my guides keep telling me that like the way life is right now is like it's never been like this before. So lots of the things that I'm like asking about or whatever, they keep saying like there's a bigger message here. It's more divinely orchestrated than you think. And then I just heard like Let Jesus Take the Wheel, that song. It's like it feels just really like it's so hard to describe, because it's not normal. Like it feels different.
Yeah, it's very surreal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't even believe I live in Mexico.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Like, it doesn't feel real necessarily.
Crazy.
Like, it doesn't feel like my house isn't my house anymore. It doesn't feel like I sold it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. But and
it happened so fast. Like, it happened so fast. I could see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Which tells me everything was meant to happen that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big, I don't know, 2022 is also a big old trust fall.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, go with the flow. And,
yeah.
I'm actually very proud of how well I am going with the flow despite everything, because normally I'm a worrier and a stressor and I still have some anxiety, but not like I was expecting there to be. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, good for you. I know it does feel like there's this new level of trust. Hey,
yeah.
Like I am definitely like, I agree with that completely. Like I would normally be really, really overwhelmed right now to the point of like probably a breakdown. And I'm just like, like I'm only human. I can only do what I can do. I just have to get through day to day and just be grateful for that. And like, yeah, how you say like, don't care about money, like just whatever. Yeah. It's weird.
It is weird. It's so funny when you're talking about like the different years, like 2020, 2021. I listen to what people are telling me, my clients, other people, the collective, and I'm just kind of like, I feel as though I'm a year ahead of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the internal healing and stuff that a lot of people are doing in 2021, I did that in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And, I know a lot of people are like, oh, 2021, it sucked. And, this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, I can't relate. Do you know what I mean? Like I had a completely different experience. And it's like I'm a year ahead of everybody.
Yeah. I can see that.
Like people's 2020 was my end of 2018, 2019.
Right. So
it's this weird, but then I'm like, well, fuck. I have no one to follow. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of like, shit. Mm-hmm. Like I have no frame of reference. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fine.
And that's something else that's, I have Kirsten, and her and I chat sometimes. Yeah. Hey, Kirsten, what's up? and we're both getting messages from our guides. Like, and this happened to me before, like just at the end of 2021. The timelines now are becoming so diverse that it's really, really hard to read for the collective, because there's like just everybody's all over the fucking map right now. And we were even talking about how like she would recall events and be like, this is how it went down, and the other people there didn't see it that way because everyone's literally in a different reality.
Yeah.
So I actually think that like everyone's feeling that, like everyone's kind of like paving their own way right now. But I do agree, like I feel like at least your emotional aspect, your emotional stuff has happened like way more advanced. Like you're definitely ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, yeah, like everything's just so, yeah, unique. Like it's crazy.
It's such a weird time to be alive.
Yeah.
But I'm also, on one hand, I'm like, oh my God, why did I sign up for this shit? And then the other part of me is like, this is really fun, sitting back with my popcorn. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah. I know. I don't know how I feel. I just am like on that roller coaster of emotions. But that was my year. I did the astrology year ahead reading with Emily McCall. And yeah, like honestly, that was amazing because she definitely like validated that this was a very emotional year for me. And she's like, yeah, most people when they go through their emotional baggage, they'll pick either the internal or the external world to destroy. And she's like, you picked both. So like, how are you doing? And I was like, yeah, like not bad, but I'm so glad that you said that, because like I feel a lot of people, especially in my family, are like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Kayla? And like, man, and I know as an Aries, I fucking know I would have signed up for that. Like, let's just tear everything down in this really quick little shebang of 5 years. And then let's just like simultaneously also be creating a business while the world is falling apart. And that's how we're going to get it done. And I'm like, I know I would have said that, because then in the next chapters of your life, you have less to dissect. It's like all or nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I know that I did that on purpose, but like I keep saying, like, I just want some peace. And like my new mantra for 2022 is like, just come what may and let it be for my highest good, because I am really sick of like dissecting things and crying about it and like fuck. So
what was your biggest lesson, you think, from 2021?
my biggest lesson, it was definitely like very eye-opening. Like I just had to like see things more clearly and like restructure my priorities and like take better care of myself. But I really felt like I was drowning 90% of the time, so it was really hard to do that. I don't really know. It was very clear. It was very like clear, like learning things aren't what I thought they were, and like learning to pay more attention. What about you?
If you want to do something, just fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sums up my 2021 pretty good. You know, like just follow your gut and just do it. It does not have to be the big thing in your head, you know?
That's awesome. That's a good lesson.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an easy one to learn, but it's very satisfying, you know?
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was trying to do a blog post yesterday and today, and I was staring at my screen. I did absolutely nothing because I'm like, let's do a 2021 recap. And in my head, all I hear is crickets. Like, I know a lot happened last year, and yet nothing. Like, it's weird. It's a weird
That's
place.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's like an old life you can't remember almost.
Like it feels like a really long time ago, but at the same time not. I'm like, I should remember stuff. Like I know shit happened. And like significant things. like, I don't know, but yet nothing. Like, I can't, even now, sitting going, okay, what are some major things that happened? Like, I don't, other than the move, because it was so recent. I mean, I turned 40, but that doesn't even feel like it was a big thing. I don't know. It's a weird, like, I don't remember.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to remember.
Like, I don't know if it's because just the years are blurring together, or maybe that's just something with the timelines right now that because they're shifting so much, I literally cannot remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it was just like the internal, like, fucking destruction of everything that I am. So my year was like really internal. Like, I just feel like I was a hermit.
Yeah, that was my 2020 for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't remember stuff. It's really fucking weird. And there's been weird little Mandela effects ever since. Like, I'll notice things like, for instance, Keith and I were taking the dogs out. And I remember handing him one of the dog poop bags and him putting it in his pocket. Like, I remember this. It's solidified in my brain. And he asked me for the bag and I said, "You have it." And he's like, "No, I don't." And I was like, "I handed it to you. Like, I remember you put it in your pocket and I had it." What the hell happened there? Because I can picture it in my head still. I handed it to him. He was wearing his blue plaid shorts and he put it in his pocket. But it never happened.
God, that's weird.
You know? So there's weird.
That reminds me of, yeah, what Kirsten said too, like with like different memories. Like the timelines are just fucked right now. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be an interesting year to say the least.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see. I've been meaning to journal this whole trip. I wanted to journal everything, keep track of everything. I wanted to journal since I got here. I have not picked it up once.
Oh, damn.
And it's like, because I want to keep a record, right? Because I want to remember. And I can't.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Times are weird. That's for sure.
It is weird. It's going to be such a weird year, and I'm kind of totally here for it and super excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your goals? Let's make dreams come true. Tell me what your goal is, or what's your big goal? What's your big goal for 2022?
I really need to get my health in total in track, like mental, emotional, physical, because like having a year of drowning has made like that kind of stuff very difficult for me. So that would be like the first thing. And then I really need like a change in my circumstances. Like I need like hopefully like moving or having a second home by the end of the year.
Cool.
Freedom is calling me, and I just we live in a place where it's just so small, like small minds, small opportunities, small levels of freedom, small or like surface level people. Like it's hard to like be yourself here and feel safe to do that. And I just like I'm a very like lively person and I really like having community, and it's just like not here.
Can I tell you about my dream I had about you? Or did I
No.
not tell you that?
I don't think so.
Oh, well shit. I had a dream about you. You were gone by April. It was
Sweet.
So crazy. Like you were out of there. You guys just were like done and out of there by April.
Fuck yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah. And I can't remember. Oh, I wish I would have texted you or something when I actually had it, because there was more to it than that. Because I just remember going, oh, that was quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish I would have messaged you when I had it. I thought I did. Oh, well, shit. Because now I don't remember. And it's not like I journaled about it because I can't apparently do that.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, like bring it on. And I think like the hardest thing for me that's been really, really difficult the past couple of years since you know, the C word came around.
Mm-hmm.
But is like all of my goals previous to this year, it's been just like I want to travel and see the world. Like I just get so excited when I meet new people or go to new places and have new food and try new wine and do this. And it's like all those things have been like ridiculously difficult. Like regardless if you're VED or not VED, like it's still a pain in the fucking ass. It's not fun or enjoyable. There's like all these processes and protocols and it feels very stiff and corporate.
And
And like,
wherever you go, everyone's on edge.
yeah,
Except down
like
here.
I was
It's
like,
not
I'm
like
gonna
that
go.
here.
I was like, I'm going to Portugal this year, and that was a couple of years ago. I'm going to Italy this year, and then I was like, oh, me and my sister could do a trip. Me and Graham could do one. You know, I want to see Berlin. Like, I want to do all these great things, and it's like, wah wah. You know, and it's like I'm having a really fucking hard time like figuring out what the point is. Some days, like most days, I'm like, I'm super grateful, everything's amazing, and then other days, I'm like, what's the point of this again? Like. So I want that like spark to come back.
Oh, I think it will. I think, but like you say, when you get your balance back,
Mm-hmm. And
right?
Emily was like, "You've been in a year of the moon, and the moon is in one of my like troubled houses in the astrology records,
The
the
astrology.
astrology. So it's been like a tough year. But then guess what? I move into next. It's like polar opposites. I move from sun to moon to a sun year. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a jarring fucking difference. But it doesn't change till my birthday, which coincidentally is April.
I was gonna say, isn't that April?
Yeah. So bring on the sunshine. I am fucking ready. And watch out, because in April I'm gonna be fucking bright as the sun. Damn it.
Oh my! I want, man. I gotta get my reading done, an astrology reading done. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious.
Yeah. I actually like I I even told you, I was like, I do want to know what this year brings, but last year I did a year ahead reading and it was just like shit pile after shit pile after shit pile. And I was like, I don't like this. It was all correct because here I am. I had kind of a like it was a great year, like business wise or like you know, living a soul led life and having, you know, like that's something we can not deny that we have that blessing, right?
Yeah.
But on the inside, it was not that fun. And like just even like family dynamics and all sorts of stuff came to the surface. And I was like, you know, I don't think I want to know about next year. I just want to know the general theme because I don't want to be like, you know, told it's going to be shitty again and be like, I just went through that year and I have to do it again. So I was just like, I'm just going to get a heads up, just a heads up from Emily. And that was before you'd launched your thing. And yeah, it was like what I needed exactly. I was like, thank fuck, because she also validated my last year.
Yeah.
And I felt like a lot of people were kind of like, you're being such a crybaby, or you're really not being grateful, or you really are just like an emotional shit wreck. And I'm like, this isn't really how I am. Like, that was another hard part. I'm not super, like, I am sensitive, but I'm pretty intelligent that I can just like process my emotions and like let them drive and like see the other side of it. But this year has been like, last year was just really difficult. And I felt like it was almost like people couldn't see me for what I really was, because that's like one of the worst years I've ever had, like emotionally or personally, not financially and not business oriented, which is what most people see. But the internal aspects have been very difficult. So then it's almost like it's hard on your self-esteem too, because everyone's like, God, you're a little bitch. Like, no, it was hard. So I really am endlessly grateful for that
But why do you
validation.
care?
Well, it made me wonder if I didn't know myself correctly, or if this was like how the rest of my life was going to be, and like I was just going to be in this pool of tears forever. So it was just like validating to be like, okay, yeah, that actually was difficult. And it wasn't just like, you know, me trying to convince myself that it was difficult, making excuses.
I say give yourself props,
Yeah, I
right?
fucking am going to.
That's a deep fucking healing year, man.
Yeah. Yes.
And those are rough.
Fucking are. Good Lord.
So, props.
Yeah, good job to me. I'm not done yet. I still got 4 more months, unfortunately, but hopefully we're like rounding out the corner and it's starting to like the gray skies are starting to have the sun peek out.
The sun will come out tomorrow. God, I hate that song. Oh,
Yes.
I've done that show twice and I still hate that song. Yeah.
What's that from again? I can't remember.
Annie.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Damn. What's your biggest goal for 20? Wait, what was your biggest lesson of 20? Wait, we did that already. What's your biggest goal for 2022?
My initial reaction is I don't really have one. But I guess if I had to, like I want to get my my programs up and running because I have a lot of 2 big ones coming up, and like they're life changing, and I really want, not so much for me, I want other people to take that and use it this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's, if I had to pick one, that'd probably be it.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a great goal.
Yeah. And it's for other people, right? Like, it's like, I want them to experience this. I want them to use this and like have a fucking awesome year. And watching them gives me that same, I don't know.
Totally.
Not validation, that's not the right word, but that uplift, that excitement, that, like I have a couple of clients from last year, a couple of coaching clients, and they fucking transformed and they did what they want, and I'm just so fucking proud of them. And it was like my favorite part of 2021.
Oh, that's amazing.
It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me moving. It had nothing to do with me at all. My favorite part of 2021 was watching them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah. So.
And what is your program? Tell everybody about this new program.
Well, there's going to be 2 main ones.
Ooh, okay.
But the one I'm launching right away, like on the 5th or something, is it's called Badass Transformation. And it's just a 4-week program with the fundamentals of, hey, let's figure out what's not working for you. Let's pinpoint where you're feeling unsettled, where you're feeling insecure, where you're feeling shitty, right? And it'll be like, well, how do we notice it? Tips and tricks on how to change it, and completely shifting so that you're living more confidently, more authentically, and intuitively, and that trust is there, and what you want and how to go about it. And then taking that step forward, right? So it's like 4 weeks to change your life. But it's more of a fundamental how to start, right? Because mindset is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so how do you change it?
Totally.
So
and people totally need that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you put in the work, it's transformational, but it's hard to do. And like, that's why you're badass, man. If you do that, I applaud you. It's hard. So like 100% fucking that's awesome.
Ah, that's awesome.
And then my 6-week course I'll be launching later on is all going to be about understanding your ego and befriending.
That's going to be a good one. Yeah. Because I feel like I've learned so much about the ego from like what you've said just over the course of time. And I'm like, wow, that was something I definitely needed. Because like I had talked about it, but I called it more like our survival skills, and I didn't realize how it creeps into every single part of our life, regardless if we're in survival mode. That's huge for people to understand that, because then you can like just persevere if you know that ego is always in fucking saboteur mode.
But yet, and that's just it. We and it's again all how you perceive the ego, right? You can look at it as it's self-sabotage, or it's a bad thing, but really it's trying to protect you, and understanding that, but also flipping it. Like, sure, I realize you're doing this, what you perceive as my greatest good. However, it's not my greatest good. So we're going to shift it anyway. right?
Yeah,
And
and that's true.
understanding that line, because there's a definite line and it tips
Yeah,
back and forth. But
because
how do
if
you
you,
navigate?
I've there are some people I read for that really don't have much of an ego because of like the energy that they brought from the stars, and they really struggle to get anything done or even find a goal or a motivator because they don't have the ego sort of cracking the whip every once in a while, like, you got to do this. So it does very much help us. And I think, yeah, like even me at this present moment, like could probably use some fucking skills on how to hone that bitch in. Like,
Yeah. Well, and you know what? A big part of it is learning how to recognize it, because ego
mm-hmm,
happens so much and we
mm-hmm,
don't recognize it's what's happening,
exactly.
you know? So that's going to be a big one. That's going to be a little while down the road, but it's going to be pretty in depth, that it's going to be 6 weeks of, you know, but understanding it, befriending it, and taming it. So it's all good.
Yes. That's awesome. And when are you launching that one? You said like in a
Probably like the transformation one happens at the end of, like, we start January 31st. So it'll probably be the beginning of March.
okay. That's what I was thinking. I was like end of February, March. That's awesome. That's so exciting. So many things are coming up. I know. I had so much fun doing my programs last year that I really want to bring more of those in. They were just like super fun. Yeah, like I honestly learned things myself when I went through it. And I set that intention. I
Yeah.
was like, I want this to be so helpful and informative that I leave with more tools in my tool belt. And it's exactly what happened when I did the manifest program. I was just like, I even had some like aha moments and I was like, okay, fuck yeah. Like,
Yeah.
so I'd love to do more of those too, but I just need a little bit more time to create them.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's funny because this, like, I've been having ideas for these for a long time, and then all of a sudden it was like, bam, they all came to me, and it was like a download.
It's amazing.
And it was just like, okay, divinely guided, I get you. I'm just, again, we're going with the flow this year, so we're just gonna, you know.
I love that. That's honestly my intention this year too. Like just flow. Like because I'm so like why the fuck did I have to be a Virgo Capricorn combo? Like that has to be one of the shittiest fucking combos. Like I mean, very effective, highly motivated,
Mm-hmm.
but like not really good at flowing, not really good at like relaxing. And I do give credit to it because I'm like constantly learning and I feel like I've just tapped in like just recently tapped into this like world of esoteric knowledge that like is just crazy. Like it's crazy. And I'm like, wow, if I wasn't so curious and dedicated, I never would have got here. So I am grateful to those things, but damn it, it's hard for me to flow through things. I'm so fucking critical and so like I'm literally a ram and a goat. Like just go, you know, like so I do just want to flow more. Every time I get tight, like uptight, I'm just like, let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. Well,
Let it go. So that's
I'm a
also my
Leo and
goal.
a Cancer rising. So like, could I be more masculine feminine? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I swing pendulum back and forth, right? And
Yeah.
let's be honest, I run with the masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And so finding my flow was embracing the feminine, which was very difficult for me.
Right.
Very difficult.
You know what's interesting? I was reading. So this year, actually 2021, one of the biggest things I've began to learn is like what the actual divine feminine and masculine is. And I've only been able to learn it because when people explain it to me, it feels wrong sometimes. I'm like, this doesn't feel right. So I've learned it through like different readings and people's spirit guides. That has been a monumental thing to help me embrace more of my femininity.
Yeah.
Because man, I've read in two different records and two different books. It's not that one energy is better than the other,
Mm-mm.
but I'm starting to learn that the feminine energy is like whoa, like people need to watch out for women. Like once we step into our power, like we're just unstoppable. In someone's reading, what did it say? Like in different star groups, like the otherworldly, they the women found a way to like reproduce all on their own. So like men have a much less important role, even though they still take on fatherly roles. They're like not really necessary. They still, because they're equal and they're very advanced, they like cohabitate and like do things together anyway. But like, yeah, it's crazy. And like women and water are just like very like think of the ocean. Whenever I try to ask like what is the divine feminine, they always show me the ocean, like deep. It can be very calm and beautiful and serene, but it can also be the storm that capsizes you. And I'm like, oof, I like that. Like,
Nice. I did learn something though. Something I forgot. I relearned recently. Because this hotel we're living at right now, until we find a place, has a pool. And I forgot how much I love swimming.
mm,
And it's because I feel the most free in the water.
that makes sense.
I feel the most present in the water.
I love that. I love being by water.
I love the sound of it. I love the waves. I love the way it feels, you know? And it's just been very, like, I just feel so free when I'm in the water.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, me too. But it's been, yeah, there's weird lessons coming up around things. But you know what's been cool? Because one of the things I regret is not starting to learn Spanish earlier. Like because I'm so self-conscious about it, because I don't know a lot, I blank when I go to speak it.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, I'm like terrible. And people are here so tolerant of it, and it's so sweet. And
That's awesome.
but it's so great to see, because even if you don't speak the same language, you can still communicate.
Oh, yeah.
And
You know,
it's
I think,
so like people are like, well, how is the language barrier? And I'm kind of like, well, it's been fine, because
I
you can
love that.
still, use expression, you can still use your hands, you can still, gesture, you can still, communicate, and it's so cool.
I think one of like the most great lessons I ever learned, like at the Y when I worked with the newcomers and refugees, um, like I was the same way, like, super self-conscious, didn't know how to communicate, but like the way that few years allowed me to learn how to communicate and realize that like everybody's just trying, and you can get across. Like I think that's going to be like it has helped me a lot in like the travel. It's like you just gesture, you make, and I don't know, I like actually really appreciate that lesson that I had from there. That was probably the best one. Is like having friends that didn't speak the same language as you and just like going for dinner parties and having no fucking idea what anyone was saying, but still somehow communicating.
Yeah.
And like I spent a lot of time learning French, and I wish I would have learned Spanish, but I'm hoping it'll just like transfer nicely.
I thought that was going to happen, because I was in French immersion for 6 years. No, it's like
Damn it.
understanding the masculine and feminine verbs. Yeah, that helps. But I immediately slip into, because they sound similar in some ways, and yet they're completely different. So I find myself slipping into French.
Oh shit.
And like it's like I have to unlearn French. So I don't know who came up with this whole, if you know French, it's easy to learn Spanish, because it's been fucking hard.
I feel like it's easy on paper, but like
Yes.
communicating verbally, maybe not so much.
Like understanding the masculine, feminine verbs, that helped. But that was about it.
That was about it. Oh my God.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, so we kind of talked about this, but if you were going to pick one prediction, and we know the timelines are skewed, we've talked about it, but if you were going to do one big prediction for 2022, what would it be?
You will reap what you sow instantly, for better and for worse.
Yes. I feel like that is correct.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I like felt that, oh, my guides have this beautiful way. My guides have this beautiful way of me. I will like tiptoe into something in the Akashic records, and they know I'm very practical. Like it doesn't always seem like it because we're doing all this stuff all day, but like I need like a tangible something, and then they will give it to me in a book. They will give it to me in some sort of interesting article that I read or a very detailed meditation, and it's just like boom. And I was tiptoeing around like these year ahead predictions, and they just sent me into this place of like old Hebrew and like Aztec stuff, and I'm just like, wow, thank you guys. And that's exactly kind of what this year is bringing. Like, you will reap what you sow, but for better or worse. So like choose wisely and show up wisely. But it's not something to be scared of. It should excite the fuck out of you. What about you? What's your prediction?
See, that's the problem with asking questions. I don't expect to be asked back. Just give me a second here. The first word that came to mind was unity. I think people are going to learn how to unite again.
I feel that.
Like it's like the divide crumbles.
Yes, I'm here for that.
Yeah, I don't know what happens, but something happens that like everybody comes together. There's a unity. There's a uniting that happens. Nobody's scared of each other anymore.
Yes.
You know?
I'm here for that.
Me too. I didn't know that until my guides told me just now, and I'm like, oh, I'm pumped for it. Let's bring that on sooner than later. But I feel like, again, that's later in the year.
I feel like that's true too, because right, they're talking about like connection and what are you connected to, and if you can like actually choose a connection and stay with it, I feel it like connects right back to you. And like, yeah, like lots of relationships, friendships, working, like it's, I don't know, it's just very like connected. Like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
that's so cool. I'm here for 2022. I'm ready for it.
Me too. I meant to look up the angel number for like 222 and see what it says. I'm gonna do that.
222, because we were born at that time. It's always about like fulfilled. What does it usually say? Like fulfilled manifestations or like the divine plan. And then in numerology, it's the master builder.
Okay. All right. So I just pulled this up quick. Angel number 222 signifies a new beginning. We all have access to a powerful tool for creating our life experiences, our mind. By choosing to focus on positive thoughts, you can create a different life. Angel number 222 tells you that your positive thoughts and visualizations are about to become a reality. So it's exactly what you and I have been talking about this whole time.
What? Fuck yes. And it's weird because it's like that just came to us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love it.
Fuck, that's exciting. I'm pumped. I'm here for it. I'm here for 222. 2022, but you know what I mean?
It should be our year, right? Like 222, that's what time we were born at.
Yeah. My old dispatching number, like at the PA police there, my badge number was 2022, or my operator number. I didn't actually have a badge, but my operator number was 2022.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. This is cool, man. I'm so excited for this year.
Me too. Bring it on. Let's do it. Love to hear from you guys out there, like what you're calling in for 2022. Let us know.
Yes, let us know. Yeah. I'm pretty excited.
And if you're feeling it, if you're feeling the magic, if you're feeling the power that comes with this year, because I know I am.
Me too. Well, I don't even know how long this has been. We've just been blabbing for like probably a good hour at least.
Oh yeah.
I feel like this is a long one.
Oh well. Welcome back. We haven't recorded in a while.
It's true. Because we pre-recorded a bunch. So welcome back, kids, to 2022. Let us know how you're feeling about it all. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Join us.
We also have Twitter.
Oh,
we also have Twitter.
Yes. The Twitters and the Patreon. Like, come visit, interact with us. I want to be more. My goal even though I was talking about like, fuck social media, but my goal is to be way more present on, you know, my own personal like socials, like my business pages, or, you know, in Patreon, maybe doing more lives and shit like that. So it's my goal.
Yes. I need to, I have a few plans to help de-stress. So I have more time for like that flexibility, because right now it's just like readings and emails. So there's really no time for me to manage that stuff right now. So I have a couple of tricks up my sleeve to manage that stuff, and hopefully also be more present.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, kids. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's been fun. It's been eye-opening. Pretty pumped about it. And again, let us know what you think about this year. Are we off our rockers, or are you feeling it too? Let us know.
We're off our rockers.
All right. We will talk to you very soon, next week, actually. So bye.
Bye.